What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another video. Today is a very special day because if you've been following the channel, I haven't really done much to this car except in terms of performance wise, except for an exhaust. And today that's finally all gonna change because as of I believe 5 days ago we received this in the mail. We got not one but two Ford performance boxes. You got LMR there. For those of you who don't know, late model restoration, they sell a lot of aftermarket Mustang parts. So here we have a GT350 intake manifold, and in the other box I'll show in a second we have the throttle body and the cold air intake. So the reason why I purchased that is because I wanted some, more horsepower, one, and I was looking around at what I could get. And I was seeing that a lot of people were going with a cold air intake tune, which mostly everybody does, and an aftermarket manifold. So for the 15 to 17 cars that this one happens to be, they sell packages like power packs. And I first saw VMP's power pack that they make for this car with the ported 18 manifold. And I was looking at it, I was interested, all that. But the only thing about it was that it wouldn't, like, my warranty would be voided, and I didn't want that. So I started searching and started looking, and that's when I found that Ford Performance makes a power pack for that same car. And since it's a Ford Performance part, it would keep the warranty. And I looked at power levels obviously to see how much I would be getting out of that kit, and it seems that the VMP kit that comes with ported 18 manifold, I believe it's a JLT cold air intake, and the SET tuner, like the handheld device with a custom VMP tune already loaded onto it, was a little bit more expensive than this kit that I got from late model resto. And of course the power levels were the same, but the really important thing to me was that I got to keep the warranty on the engine. So yeah, let's get into the kit here. We have, as I mentioned already, the GT350 intake manifold, and then in this box we have the cold air intake there, which is stock on the GT350 Mustang. And then in this little box we have an 87 millimeter throttle body, which also comes on the GT350. Basically everything here is on the GT350 except the tune that comes with it. So this is an 87 millimeter throttle body. The one that comes stock on that car, I believe, is 80 millimeters. So bigger throttle body, bigger intake manifold, more airflow with this air filter that's not restricted. In a second I'll show you what comes stock in the car, and it's a closed air box. We just have the hardware there for the throttle body. And this box has the extra, or I don't know about extra, but just hoses you're gonna need. This is the little tuner that you use to plug into the OBD2 port that's in the car, and these are instructions to use for your computer, because you gotta flash the tune on the computer, or I guess load the tune on the computer before you flash it onto your car. So from videos I've seen, this car is gonna be making about 440, or maybe a little less, like 437, 438 to the wheel. These stock normally make around 389, 387, about maybe 390. So the only thing I have, as I mentioned earlier, is this Borla, which I don't even know how much horsepower that adds. I haven't dynoed this car, but it should be making around 390 to the wheel as it sits. That probably added about 5 horsepower, but so I guess you could call it 395. But anyways, we're gonna have this installed, and once it's done I'll be doing a test drive and letting you guys know how it feels. So one important thing to know is Ford Performance actually sells this kit in a stage 1 and a stage 2 and stage 3. This is a stage 3. The stage 1, I believe, only comes with the tune there and that air filter, and I believe stage 2 comes with the throttle body, this, and the tune. And then stage 3 comes with the manifold, this, and that. So yeah, And I did look, when I was looking at manifolds, I looked at the Cobra Jet, the 18 ported manifold, just the 18 manifold, the regular one, and I believe that's it. And the Boss 302. My first, I guess, the one I was really trying to go for was the Cobra Jet, but one thing with that is that it wouldn't have fit under the stock hood. I don't believe it would have fit under the stock hood. I read in some forums that it won't, and I really like the stock hood. I don't want to get rid of it, so that's just, you know, my personal preference. And I looked at the power levels as well, and the Cobra Jet, the GT350, and the ported 18 manifold were all making very, very similar power. It was differences of just like a few horsepower. So, and the Cobra Jet is very, very expensive just for the manifold, without the tune, without anything else. And you can put a massive throttle body on there, which is what I liked, but you know, it is what it is. I believe that I'll be happy with this kit. So once it's installed, we're gonna, you know, see what it does. I do plan on dynoing it sometime soon. With everything that's going on in the world right now, I don't even know if performance shops are open, but if they are, I would like to go dyno it. So I guess we'll see what happens. So this is what my car looks like under the hood. It really, like I said, it's stock, so it doesn't have anything done to the engine yet. So this is a closed airbox. With the aftermarket one that I showed, it's gonna be open. One thing with that package, this Coyote or this 5.0 cover on here, is gonna be, you won't be able to use it. It won't fit with the GT350 manifold. You can still keep the strut tower brace, which is a good thing because this helps a lot with handling. So I'm gonna be able to keep this, but this cover here is gonna go, which kind of sucks. I like this cover, but it is what it is. And yeah, the install is gonna be kind of a pain because I've seen the video, and there's a lot of cutting of wires and moving things around, and I'm not really a fan of all that. So we're gonna see how that goes. But I'm really hoping that's gonna make a big difference. But with the tune, it's gonna increase the rev limiter to 7,500. Right now, I have my shift light there. I don't know if you can see it. Yeah, I have it set to about, I think 62 or 63, so I can shift by like 6,500 RPM. So I'm excited for the increased rev limiter and basically the overall faster throttle response. So once everything like that is done, I'll be letting you guys know how the car is. We'll do some drives and some pulls, and it should be a lot of fun. So until then, see you guys. What's going on, everybody? So we're finally going for our first drive. Well, on camera, I already drove the car, but I'm just gonna talk about, you know, what I feel about the upgrades and if it was worth it and this and that. So one thing that I did notice right off the bat with this package is, with this kit, I mean, is that it pops and crackles a lot more. And yeah, so I had the Borla catback already for a while, but it wouldn't really crackle and pop like it does now. And so that's one good thing. I'll try to get some clips of that once I get off the freeway. So in terms of the power band and everything, you do feel a difference in the top end terms, I guess. You do feel a difference with the top end. You do feel it pull, accelerate faster, so that's a good thing. It's not like a night and day difference, but you will feel it, especially with the increased rev limiter. So my shift light right here, I put it up to I believe at first I put it up to 7,200 RPM. Then I tried it and realized that I think I could still go a little bit more without hitting the limiter. So I put the shift light at 73, which gives me some time to shift before the rev limiter, which is at 75. So that's good. The rev limiter feels like it revs to the moon, like it just goes, so that's a lot of fun. But yeah, when I first drove it, honestly, I wasn't very happy because I was like, what the hell is this? I think maybe because the fact that it's a manual, you don't feel the throttle response and shifts hit as hard as in an automatic. But you know, and that was just my first impression of it. But once I got to drive it on the street good, like, and really do some hard launches and pulls, it did feel better in the top end. So that's the one plus with this. In terms of how much fuel it wastes, the tune, I didn't really notice much of a difference if you just drive normally. But when you're beating on it, it will waste more fuel. But yeah, so right off the bat, I was kind of disappointed in what I got for the money it cost. So you know, that's on you know, you and what you're really expecting. So like I mentioned earlier, I believe it's about 40 wheel horsepower added, but But yeah, so we'll see. I plan on dynoing it soon and see what it really does. But yeah, I love the crackles and pops. The increased rev limiter is a lot of fun, and you do feel it pull more in the top end. So right now we're gonna head to Mexico and find a good spot, find a good road to get some pulls in, so you can really see how this car acts. So we'll see you guys there. And I just want to mention quickly, my main inspiration for, I guess, wanting some more horsepower is well, I guess I'll just roll the clips here. So yeah, that guy, even though he would probably still take me now. I mean, don't get me wrong, it did pick up power and you do feel it, but it's not a night and day difference. But I guess that's what you should expect just from getting about 40 horsepower. But we're gonna see what we can do. All right guys, so we just got here to Mexico. We're gonna do our first pull for 20 miles an hour. That was pull number 1. Forgot to have taken off traction control. Took it off now. Gonna do a dig. That's how it feels. I think I might have put the light too high, because when it was at 7200 I wouldn't hit the rev limiter, but this time I was hitting it a little bit. So, and I was power shifting. So one thing with this this tune, supposedly it has a no lift shift calibration or whatever, that I guess maybe makes it easier to power shift. So there's that, I guess. But yeah, so like I said, it's a lot of fun. I'm gonna try to see if you guys can hear the crackles and pops. So let's see. And one thing too is the noise that the throttle body makes when it opens, like the whistling noise. You can hear it a lot more now, which is like kind of cool. The only thing is you can hear it as I start to, I don't know if you could hear it, but I'm kind of like playing with the throttle and letting it, like tapping the gas, and you can hear the too like whistle noise. I don't really know how to describe it, but yeah, so that is a lot better. It's a lot louder, because once you get to a certain RPM, the exhaust just gets really loud and you can't hear it anymore. But when the throttle body is first opening, you can really hear it. So yeah guys, there you have it. That's gonna be the review for the Ford Performance Power Pack 3 for the 15 to 17 S550 Mustangs. Hope you enjoyed, and thanks for watching.